one of the major disasters that happened in the 21st century in our subculture, in our Coptic subculture, is movies that have been depicting saints on public television. So you open CTV, Agape TV, any TV, and you will have one-track-minded producers and directors of movies who are giving a cinematic narrative to how they thought a saint lived. Okay? So regardless, flip the channel, any saint, you'll see him on his knees, crying and wailing and beating himself up. And okay, this is one sort of spirituality. There are many other ways of spiritualities. The problem is we get attached to cinema. We get attached to movie productions. And it's not necessarily something that we only do. I mean, we do this with Hollywood. As a matter of fact, if you analyze the popular culture in America, there is a series on TV called Left Behind. And Left Behind is a cinematic narrative of what the book of Revelation means. All right? The problem is, these people who wrote the narrative, as a matter of fact, never even read the book of Revelation. And if they read it, they have interpreted it according to their own understanding, which has nothing to do with the Christian life. So what ends up happening on TV has nothing to do with Scripture. But then what happens after that? You have masses of people developing their theological understanding of the book of Revelation based on the movie, not based on reading the book of Revelation. And this is exactly what we do. We develop our theological understanding of sainthood, of life of sanctification, based on a movie, as opposed to delving deeper into our faith and understanding things. So I think in my world, that means superficial living. That's a one-dimensional living. That's a one-track-minded thinking. So popular culture is a very dangerous thing, especially when it has to do with our faith. Why? In the book of Revelation, chapter 18, it speaks to us about the fall of the great city of Babylon. And in the great city of Babylon, it says, and their merchants, their merchandise no one will buy anymore. No one is going to buy their merchandise. And then it goes through a list of merchandise. It says wood, oil, incense, literally everything we use in the church, right? Everything we use in the church, from wine to oil to incense. And then there is a very interesting item on the list at the end. It says, and human soul. Wait a second. Since when was a human soul open for sale and trade? But this is what happens in Babylon. And we cannot engage in an activity in which we are gambling with our souls. Our souls are so precious. We cannot just do, like, it's one thing to advertise to me buying a jacket on TV and being satisfied with the advertisement, I go and buy it. It's another thing to advertise something on TV about my soul and about my relationship with God, and for me to buy it, that's just based on this commercial is a grave mistake. It's a grave mistake. A soul is not a cheap thing. We have to be alert. We have to develop a spirit of discernment that basically tells us, I have a calling, and I have to stick to my calling, and I have to pursue ways and dig. Why we are engineers, doctors, lawyers, and we are the highest ranking politicians everywhere, and we do great academically everywhere. Everyone I know, they are either from UCLA, Harvard, Stanford. Okay, why is faith the only thing we're not willing to spend an extra hour to unpack? Why is opening a book about chemistry appealing and opening a book about the fathers not appealing? Why is all of a sudden our IQ is that high in college, but in church our IQ is here? Is there a reason except spiritual laziness? I don't think so. There is no other reason.